Hello, my Christian friends. Today, I was going to tell you why I know that He lives. But first, before I tell you why I know that He lives, many of you have been asking me what church I belong to. Well, it's Central Baptist Church, 3120 West 108th Street in Inglewood, California. And the pastor is Reverend Luther B. Keith. A very good church, very good preaching, and very good singing. Come by and see us sometime. Now, why I know that He lives. Now, what I'm going to tell you, I know it's going to be unbelievable to some of you because it's never happened to some of you before. A lot of times when things people have never heard about it, never seen it before, they can't believe it's real because they say, well, I don't believe that, it never happened to me, nothing like that. But things happen to different people. Well, why I know that He lives. And I'm going to tell you one thing before I start. The Bible says the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And I fear the Lord enough not to lie and tell you nothing that He said that He did not say without counting the cost. Because the Bible says in Revelation, woe to any man who add or subtract to my word. And that woe means stop, look out, hold on. Just like in the country they told the muse, whoa, that means stop. When God says, woe to any man, that means don't do it. And I wouldn't add nothing or subtract nothing to His word without counting the consequences. God is a good God. He's too holy to play with. He don't want us to make jokes using His name and all vulgar language because He said don't use vulgar language. So I don't play with the Lord because He's too worthy. He's too heavenly. He's too wonderful to me. And He's been too good to me. He's nothing to play with. It's just like He playing with a rattlesnake, trying to take a rattlesnake home for a pet. It ain't going to work. Because one day you're going to get bit. And to play with God, one day you might get kicked into the pits of hell. So He ain't nothing to play with. But why I know He lives, I'm going to get to the point. My first testimony is God woke me up early one morning. I guess it was about 3 o'clock. And told me to go to Lita's house. Lita was a lady that went to the same church that I did. And I woke up, I said, go to Lita's house this time of morning for what? Just like you hear me talking to you, I could hear Him just that plain talking to me. And the devil heard me talking too. And the devil said, don't go to nobody's house this time of morning. If you're worried about her, just call her. I said, yeah, that's right, I'll call her. And I called her. And the line was busy. The devil said, you see there? If anything was wrong, she could tell them. So go back to sleep. But the Lord said, hurry. And I started putting on my clothes because it was like a force. It was just, I couldn't stop. It was just like pushing me. And I had to get ready. I started putting on my clothes, running down the street. And the devil said, you look like a fool running down the street half dressed. The police going to see you and think you high over drugs. Yeah, I used to be on drugs a long time ago, but I've been delivered from a long time ago. Some of you probably say, oh, he's probably on drugs right now. No, I've been delivered, set free. But I kept on running, and when I got to a house, I knocked on the door. Nobody answered the door. And the devil said, see that when you was called on the phone, she was talking to somebody. Whoever she was talking to, they did probably come gotten it, and she's gone. So go back home, fool. He called me a fool about 3 or 4 times. And the Lord said, go around to the side of the house. And I said, start around the side of the house. For what? I didn't know why. I'm walking slow, looking all around, worried because it's nighttime. And when I got to her window, she had some boards nailed across them because she was a single lady and she stayed by herself. And the Lord said, pull the boards off. I said, I'm not going to pull them boards off that window. And the devil said, fool, don't you pull them boards off that window because some people on the side of her, it's nighttime, they can't see your face. They think you breaking in on her. They're going to shoot you in the back or call the police. You better go home, fool. And the Lord spoke again and said, pull the boards off. And I grabbed those boards and I started pulling them. This just don't make no sense. This just don't make no sense. And I crawled into a bedroom. There was a bedroom right there. And she was laying across the bed in a coma. She had tried to call me for help, but she couldn't make it to the phone in time. She had knocked it off the hook. That's why I was busy when I called her. I called the paramedics. And they said if I hadn't got there, she would have died. And on my way home, look, I'm going to tell the truth about it. I was a little upset with the Lord. Because the devil had said, I look like a fool running down the street, half dressed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking up in the sky, calling myself, fussing at the Lord, pointing my finger up at him like I'm looking him in the face, and ain't looking at nothing but some clouds, dark clouds up there. And I'm saying, you God, you could have spoke the word. You could have healed her yourself. You didn't have to have me running down the street. You could have spoke the words and healed her. And in the nicest voice, he said, yes, I could have. But I want you to know that I live. If anybody asks you if I live, ask yourself what force had you run down the street half dressed. If anybody asks you if I live, ask yourself what force had you pulling the boards off the window. Ask yourself what force led you to do all these things. I want you to know that I live. And I fell on my knees in that wet dew, and I cried out, Lord, please forgive me. Who am I to question you? And you answered me, please forgive me. He said, I want you to know that I live. Ask yourself what force. Now, he didn't say, I am God. He said, what force? Because God gives us a choice. He said, choose ye this day whom you shall serve. I know it was God, because God is for love people. He said he came to save the world. The devil wanted her to die. The devil didn't want me to go. That's why the devil kept telling me to go back, don't pull the boards off the window, because he wanted her to die. So I know it was God, because the Bible says all things work for the good for those who love the Lord. And that worked for the good. It saved her life. And he said, I want you to know that I live. And you see, that's why I have to tell you, because I know that he lived. He done so many things. I'm just going to tell you a few things that he done for me to prove that he lived. That's why I'm on this radio right now talking. See, I'm paying for this. I ain't getting no money for that. I'm on a fixed income. But it's worth it to me to tell you this, because I know he lived, and I want you to know that he lived. God is real. A lot of people don't believe it, but I know he's real. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to put the word out that he lived, because he told me to. And that's what I'm doing. I'm obeying God. In my second testimony, I was having lunch at a friend of mine's house. And so his wife had cooked a honey baked ham. And I love honey baked ham. And my wife get on me by eating pork. But I still love honey baked ham. And so I'm sitting at the table eating my ham sandwich. And he kept on asking me, you want something to drink? I got some Kool-Aid in the refrigerator. I got soda, I got a beer, you want anything? I said, I'm fine, I don't want nothing to drink. He kept on asking me, did I want something to drink? I don't know why. But then the Lord spoke to me, and said, go to the refrigerator. And I looked up, and I just got up slowly out of the chair, and I walked to the refrigerator. I didn't know why. I didn't tell him the Lord told me to go to the refrigerator, because some people you can't tell everything. Because he wasn't saved, and if I'd have said the Lord told me to go to the refrigerator, he said, man, you crazy. I ain't heard nobody. You must be crazy. So I obeyed the Lord. I went to the refrigerator, carrying my sandwich, opened the refrigerator door, and I just put my arms on the door, leaning back, eating my sandwich, just resting on the door. Then I heard all those gunshots. Pow, 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 shooting through the window. I fell on the floor. And when I got up and I walked back to the table, there was gunshots right through where I was sitting, the table I was sitting, the chair I was sitting at, gunshots right behind where I was sitting. See, God knew danger was on the way, and God moved me out of the way in time when he told me to go to the refrigerator. You see, like it said in the Bible, yea, though I walk through the valleys of shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. See, I was in the valleys of shadows of death and didn't even know it. Many of us have been through the shadows of death, and God brought us through, but we didn't know it. Sometimes a car may have hit us, or somebody made a shot, or somebody fell on out, but we moved out of the way. The first thing we say, wow, I was blessed, I was lucky. No, you weren't lucky, you were blessed. God blessed you. You was in the shadows of death. I came through the shadows of death. I know he lived. That's why I'm so happy. I know he lived. I can't help but to tell somebody, because it's just like Jeremiah. It's like fire shut up in my bones. I got to tell somebody. Like the woman at the well, the Good Samaritan lady. She had to run it back and tell everybody, I met a man, I know a man that knows all about me, know everything that I did. Come and see, come and see. I'm telling y'all, come and see. I know a man that'll set you free. I know a man from Galilee. I know a man who can save your soul. I know he lives because he didn't prove to me that he lives. And I'm telling you, and since I know he lives, I can't let you die and go to hell without telling you that I know he lives. God would hold me accountable for it if I didn't tell you. I gotta talk. I can't help myself. And the other thing, I used to work at a fish market, and I was changing the grease. And you put a big old pot on the grease when you got to change it when it's really hot. And I pulled the thing down and fill it up with grease, hot grease, and I set it on the table. And I thought I was setting it on the table, but I guess it was a fork or something. I said it when the pot hit the pot, when the pot hit the fork or something. I thought it was on the table, and I turned it loose. I turned it loose, and it rocked. And when it rocked, that hot grease went over both of my hands, both of them. No, you don't see no burns, do you? And I knew I was messed up because the guy who worked there before me, he turned that thing off one time, and the grease fell on his shoe, burned through his tennis shoes and everything. And I'm up fanning my hand and blowing my hand. I didn't know, licking my hand, and just I didn't feel no pain, no nothing. And the Lord said, "I'm still with you." And I started crying. It didn't blister, it didn't hurt, it didn't do nothing. And some of the grease fell on the table and bounced up on the girl that worked up there and fell right between her fingers right here, and a blister came up right away. But it didn't bother me at all. It didn't hurt, and I just knew my skin was going to come off. The devil thought it was going to come off too, but he didn't know the Lord had blessed me, put a protective shield around me. He said, "Well, you don't feel no pain because that hot grease didn't kill your nerves, and if you rub your hand, you're going to rub all the skin off." I said, "Yeah, that must be it, that must be it, that must be it." But when the Lord said he was still with me, I started crying, and the man said out there, he was one of the customers out there, said, "Man, I know that hurt. You can't help it." I said, "No, man, I'm crying not because of her. I'm crying because God is blessing me. God, I know it should have been burned. I don't feel nothing." And then the Lord told me to put a piece of fish in the grease. I put a piece of filet of sole in the grease, and that grease was still hot enough to cook that fish. Now I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. And one day, and I didn't know why he told me to put it in there, but one day I was telling a lady about how the Lord blessed me and I got burned with hot grease. And this guy was standing next to me. He said, I wasn't talking to him, but he had to get in the conversation anyway. "Oh man, I don't believe that grease had to be cooled down. It must have been, I don't believe that it had to be cooled. It had to cool down, sir." I said, "No. Now I know why God had me to put that piece of filet of sole in the grease. Because he knew somebody like you were going to try to make me doubt him. But like I told him, I said, you can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him in my heart." No, nobody can make me doubt him because I know too much about him. God is real. He done done so much for me. You see, that's why I got to tell you. I know he's alive and I know he's real. And I don't want nobody to die and go to hell because I know heaven is real and hell is real. So I want everybody to know that God is alive and he loves you and he wants to save you. Too many people are killing nowadays. Young folks killing one another. Why? Because they don't believe that the devil is real. They don't believe that God is real. All they seem like they believe is real is the rappers. What they saying? They follow the rappers more than they is the preachers. Why? Because it's our fault because we're not telling them nothing. We're just letting them go. We're supposed to feed the sheep. God said, "Feed my sheep." What are we doing? Letting them go astray. That's what we're doing. They're just killing one another. But another testimony. These people, I was driving and this car ran in the back of me. Tried to make me think it was my fault. So they jumped out of the car. I pulled to the side. I drove about a couple of blocks before I stopped. I pulled to the side. And so I told them one of them had a hand on their coat. I didn't know whether they had a knife or what. One of them did have a knife. I didn't know whether the other had a gun or not. And I remember my preacher told me one time. He said, "If you just tell a person you're a Christian or something, you can get a ride or something. If you need a ride, if it's raining there, you got a Bible. People respect. If you're a Christian, they respect you." I said, oh yeah, I just tell them. I said, there's no reason for violence. I said, I'm a minister and blah blah. And man looked at me and said, I don't give a darn what you are. You better have some money. So I said, well, this ain't working. This ain't gonna work. So the Lord said, go to the light. And one of them, they had people kind of pin up, put a card. They said, go to the light. Lord said, go to the light. And I'm saying to myself, what light? I don't see no light. Well, I'm saying it to myself. What light? I don't see no light. I look way down the street. I was on 48th Street, right about Western, and I see this light way down there on Vermont. And so I said, go to the light. I said, that's about 2 blocks. That's too far. They're gonna know I'm making a fool out of them if I try to run down there. They're gonna probably shoot me in the back or do something. And the Lord said, go to the light. What light? What light? And then I looked. I was parked. God had me stop right in front of a house, and I looked to my right, and there was this porch light on this house, just as bright as it could be. I said, that's the light God talking about. And so, and the devil said, ain't nobody gonna let you in their house this time of night. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And so I said, I know I got to talk fast. So I went to the door, and I knocked on the door real fast. And the little lady opened the door. And said, I said, Miss, can I use your phone? These people trying to rob me and kill me. Can I use your phone, call the police? And she said, and she opened the door and said, come on in, baby. The phone is right over there. I was just sitting up here reading my Bible. You know, it's strange that you caught me up this time of night, because I don't stay up this late at night. I'd been asleep long before now. I said, the Lord knew that I needed you. He kept you up waiting on me because he know I needed you. That's why you're up here waiting on me. And that's why I know he did. Lord done saved me out of so many situations, so I can't help but to tell somebody. I got to tell you, it's in me. You know, like, I want to be in Texas right now. I'm 81 years old, and I want to retire and go to Texas, go fishing, get me a little house by the lake so I can just fish and sit on my porch and enjoy myself. But the Lord told me he had something for me to do. He said, tell the people, tell them. So I have to do what God tells me to do. So I just have to put that fishing trip off, because this is more important, saving a soul, telling the soul about God, that God lives. Tell the young folks God is alive and you can be saved. Tell them to turn around from all that gangbanging and killing and stuff, because they're going straight to hell. They're being led by the devil. I want to tell the young folks that's rapping, start rapping, singing songs, singing about Jesus, so they can stop, these other folks, and stop killing themselves. We need to put God's word out there. People need to hear from you, because he said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, he will heal their land. And then you got to admit, our land do need healing. God needs to hear from us. Everybody's talking about doing everything about this killing. Everybody. But they ain't saying nothing about Jesus. It's just like he don't have nothing, like he don't have no power. They didn't put him on the side burner. But Jesus is the reason for the season. Jesus can stop everything because he made everything. He made things go and he made things stop. He's the peacemaker. But people don't realize that. People have forgot about Jesus. Since they took the prayer out of school, the devil just took over. The devil is taking over the school and all the kids. They're killing one another, taking guns to school instead of Bibles. We need to pray. I want you to let you people know that God is real and he loves you. And that's why I'm here today telling you, like I say, I'm spending my money, my little money I get every month, to put this on the air. Ask yourself, just use common sense. They say it ain't too common. Why would I be doing this? I ain't trying to be no star. I'm not trying to make no money. I'm paying money so y'all can hear me, what God has done for me. I'm not getting nothing from it. God is real, and I know it. So if I just say one soul, it'll be worth it. Because I'm going to tell you, hell is real, and that fire down there is heavy. I don't want nobody to go in hell and burn for eternity, because I love everybody. You may even believe it. I love the president. Yeah, not this president, the other president. You know, the one that tells all the lies. You know, I hate his ways, but I love him, and I pray that he be saved, because I don't even want him to go to hell and burn forever, because I know that is torture for anybody. So I want you to know that he lives. God lives and he loves you. And I hope you stay tuned for me on my next broadcast. I want to tell you more about what we are doing here at KTYM. We're going to bring gospel plays, gospel musicals. We're going to lift up the Lord. We're going to bring this back to God like it used to be a long time ago. We're bringing everything back. People need to hear more from God, and that's what we're going to do. And I just love you, and I just thank you for listening to me. And I like to say, may God bless each and every one of you. But before I get off the air, I want to tell you, if you're not saved and you want to be saved, say this prayer right now and mean it from your heart. Because like I tell you all the time, God don't listen to your mouth. He listens to your heart. Because any kind of lies can come out of your mouth. The truth comes from your heart. So you have to mean it when you say it. That's why a lot of people not saved, because they didn't say it from their heart. They just said it like I did for so many years. Just said it and then nothing ever happened. But if you say it from your heart, God will come in and save your soul. And you can feel his presence too. So this is the prayer. Repeat, if you want to be saved, just repeat this prayer after me and mean it from your heart. Dear Heavenly Father, I admit that I'm a sinner. Now I'm confessing my sins to you and ask you to please, Lord, forgive me of my sins and come into my heart right now and save my soul. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. You are saved. Now just talk to God. Get in your room by yourself, whatever, just talk to him. Whatever's on you. Praying it's no special way you have to pray. Just pray to God, whatever's on your mind. God, I've been doing this for so long, help me to stop. I've been smoking dope too long, help me to stop. I've been cursing too much, help me to stop. Help me from playing off of my wife too much, help me to stop. It's hard for me. That's what he come to do, to help you to get rid of the things that you can't do. A lot of people say, I ain't ready. When I get ready, I got news for you. You can't get ready. God has to get you ready. And that's what Jesus said, God here to earth for, so you can get ready and be with him one day. And I just want to close and say, I love you, and he lives.